Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome from one of the most spectacular office views that you can get. Just the perfect scenario you want to do astrology in, that you want to do reading in, because I'm doing readings right now. And sitting here with my laptop, sitting here on this chair, and just watching this. This, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes, sir. See that? Oh my God. Oh my God. That's the view. That's the view. I think I should just do, the thing here like this. Although, then you won't be able to see anything. The beauty of the background. But, yeah, I think you can see it. There it is. There it is. Okay. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys about Rahu and Ketu transit of 2019, which I kind of made a little bit of a mistake in my first video because my software was set up on, when I updated the software like a couple of days before, it was automatically set up on mean notes, but I follow true notes, okay, which also my teacher Mark Boney and Kapiel Raaj and many other people follow. And the true notes switch will happen on March 24th. March 24th of this month is when Rahu Ketu will switch their signs, and Rahu will go into Gemini, Ketu will go into Sagittarius. But I wanted to talk about, having, as in what happens when Rahu Ketu will go over, certain planets. So that's what I wanted to discuss. And I think if I was to just talk like that, maybe the ocean sound in the back would have been, very disturbing. Look at this. I'm all sand. So this is very simple. Okay, although really studying of Rahu and Ketu transit, okay, let me tell you. The studying of Rahu and Ketu transit should definitely be looked at from D12 chart, which is known as Dwara Damsha chart. It's a chart of your lineage, it's the chart of your DNA, where you're coming from. Because remember, what is Rahu? Rahu represents your future in this life, but it represents your paternal grandfather. And the lineage of the paternal side. What is Ketu? Ketu is your ancestors from the past, and it represents your maternal lineage side. So it's very imperative that when we're judging the transit of Saturn, look at these transits in the D12 chart. Okay, and it's a divisional chart in Vedic astrology, which tells you about your race, like what your race was in the past. It tells you about your ancestors, your father, your mother, your lineage curses. And I'm actually going to be going into the D12 chart in my academy, Maga Vedic Astrology Academy, probably next week or this Friday or Saturday. It's a beautiful chart. There's something very amazing about this chart, which is very much parallel to the birth chart. So knowing that Rahu is coming in Gemini, Ketu is coming in Sagittarius, look at their transit house-wise in D12 and which planet they're going over in your D12 chart. Because you will live out the karma. You will live out the karma related to that D12 chart. It'll play out. Positive, negative, well, that we have to see, how they're transiting, which house they're transiting in. And as always, if you do not know what your D12 planetary placements are, okay, go to astrologycares.com under shop section, and option 5 and beyond, like 5, 6, 7, 8, all comes with PDF reports. where you will be able to see your different charts. But what I wanted to do is talk about Rahu Ketu going over planets. Okay. So for this, what you want to do is look in your birth chart and see if Rahu and Ketu are what do you call, are conjunct. Wait, hold on. I'm getting some weird message. I hope this is recording. Okay, this is recording. I don't know why it's giving me this message. PC load letter. You'll get it if you know, if you watch enough movies. So let's say if you have a planet in Sagittarius or Gemini, in your main birth chart, your D12 chart, Rahu Ketu will obviously be in the same house, and will eventually at one point will go over those planets depending upon the degree. So if you have, let's say, a planet at 29 degrees of Sagittarius, well, Rahu or Ketu will immediately start going over that planet. You'll start experiencing the karma related to that planet right away. So one simple thing you have to understand is nothing complicated. Rahu in the birth chart, when it goes over planets, becomes a bhoga karaka, meaning it gives bhog, it gives the food, it gives the fruits of the karma. And when it goes in your Dwara Damsa chart, when it goes over a planet, it activates karma of the lineage that one has to pay. That one either, and paying doesn't mean negative, that one just has to take care of. It'll also mean from your lineage, you'll actually interact, or you'll get something related to whichever planet Rahu is going over. Like, I had somebody I know who had their Rahu go over their son last year, and their father actually gave them huge inheritance. In the birth chart, it was you know, not giving those. Hold on. Okay. In the birth chart, it wasn't showing anything but inheritance. It was going over the son. But in Dwara Damsha, because Rahu became the Bhogakaraka, okay, and especially it was the 8th house that it was going over, it gave huge inheritance through the father. So these are the things you have to look. And obviously other things have to play as well. But in the birth chart, if let's say Rahu is going over your sun, moon, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, it's gonna try to give fruits of some karma related to that. Like, for example, when Rahu goes over moon, it's going to give clarity of the mind. It's going to give clarity of the mind most of the time. At which time Rahu will actually make you confused with Rahu going over your moon is when you receive low Ashtak Varga points in the house that moon is in. Low Vinashtak Varga, low Sarvashtak Varga points. And I've actually made a video on this. In the if you watch my Rahu Ketu transit video that I made 2 weeks ago, I show you these sheets. And actually I can show you these sheets again. Let me just close this out. Let me see here. Okay. So I'm just gonna share my Prashra Light software. So this is just the Prashna of today, okay? And this is something you'll get in the PDF report. So you go on calculations, you go on Vinashtak Varga. Right there. This is Vinashtak Varga. You want to see where your moon is, okay? So let's say moon, let's say for example, you're a Cancer ascendant, okay? Moon, let's say is in your 12th house in the sign of Gemini. Rahu is going over it because Rahu is going to be in Gemini. Ketu is going to be in Sagittarius. When Rahu goes over Gemini, you want to see how many points Moon is giving to the 12th house. 4 becomes the average, 5 is good, 6 is great, 7 is excellent, and 8 is magnificent. 3 is below average, 2 is not good, 1 is, failing, and 0 points is disastrous. Then you also want to go to the Sarvashtak Varga. Sarvashtak Varga. Let me see if I can, right there. So let's say 12th house, your 12th house receives 22 points. 28 is the average. Below 28 is not as good. 28 and above, like 28 to 32 is average. 32 above is great. And this is for any planet that transits. Okay, so you want to see, like for this particular example, you've got literally 4th house getting the most points, 32 points. So planets transit the 4th house for this chart will be great. But obviously this is not a real chart. This is just a prashna, for today. I was actually doing somebody's reading and I was looking at the prashna for them. And so Moon is in the 11th house in Kritika. So anyway, this is what you want to look for. And then Rahu goes over Sun. Okay? Sun and Moon are luminaries. Rahu in the sky eclipses them. But over transit, it brightens them up. The only time it'll eclipse your Sun and Moon in transit, if your Sun and Moon, if you have a full moon, you have a Moon in Gemini, Sun in Sagittarius, Rahu, Ketu are going over, that becomes the eclipse. Otherwise, if your Sun is somewhere else, Rahu's just going over Moon, it's going to give clarity of the mind with high score. With low score, you're going to feel confused. What is going on? What am I doing in life? Even though you might be on the right track. And then when it goes over to the planet of action, you're going to be one of these people like, okay, I don't care what the result is, I'm going to take action. Oh, I've been thinking about doing this business. I don't have a business plan. Neither I have a good support. Neither I have the best idea, but I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. It's like they'll just fall into the pool of fire, just thinking that somehow they may not get burned. Or they may get burned. Well, they'll just jump into the pool of water, even if they don't know how to swim. They'll be like, no, I can swim. I've got the willpower. With Jupiter, one suddenly gets obsessed with knowledge, obsessed with religious knowledge, theology. And then if it's a low score, they'll create their own illusionary meaning of whatever that knowledge is. If it's a high score, they'll get the true meaning. They'll get the true meaning of that. Then, with Mercury, person will be either, if it's a low score, will be confused over decision making. Okay, well, I got these 2 universities that I need to choose. Like, let's say if you're born in 2000, my God, I'm old when I say that. But if you're born in 2000, you got University of Columbia, you got Harvard University. And you'll be like, which one should I choose? You're like, well, why would I want to go to Columbia? I don't even speak Spanish. And you're like, okay, let me just go to Harvard. You'll be thinking like that. But Mercury will also give interest in foreign languages. And if it's a high score, you will actually master those languages. If it's a low score, you'll get more confused about that language. Venus, if it's a high score, huge amount of opportunities will come in for relationships, love, or you will suddenly find yourself devoted to a higher being, something higher than you, something otherworldly. If it's a low score, you could be just dating all kinds of people with lower qualities. Sure, you may be having a good time, having, sexual experiences, which may be meaningless, which will not give you the joy which may even give you some sexually transmitted diseases. You know, you just got to be aware of those things. When Rahu goes over Saturn, if it's a high score, one becomes very good at systemizing things. One becomes very good at compartmentalizing things. One becomes a very good judge of right and wrong. But if it's a low score, it can take a person into criminal activities. It can take a person, into bad judgment about things. That should I hit this person or not? Should I curse this person or not? On a bad judgment, if some kid is with their mother and you're pissed at the mother, you'll say something to the mother in front of the kid, which is really bad. But if it's a better score, high Ashtavarga score, you'll apologize, you'll leave, but you'll still hold that anger. But you made the right decision. This is how Rahu is going to be. Now, Ketu is Moksha Karaka. Ketu's job, we really have to understand this in a realistic terms. It's not about, destroying something or cutting something. What Ketu does, whatever is not needed, number one, whatever is not necessary in your life, number three, and whatever is not progressing you towards spirituality and God, it cleans that out. So on a higher scale, and this is something, it has no meaning to it. If it's a high scale and when Ketu wipes things out, you'll be glad. Oh my God, I'm so dating that wrong girl. She kept me away from following, Yogananda and all these things. I can finally do it. So great, I'm glad that we broke up. On a lower score, you'll be depressed, confused, lackluster because of the fact Ketu took away that most beautiful girl, but you did not understand why it took it away. This is how you understand Rahu Ketu in the most simplest way. Look at everybody's chart around you, not family members per se, but like friends, colleagues, because you know too much about your family anyway. See when these planets move over a certain planet over their chart or D12 chart. Say the things that I'm saying and see what comes out. Okay? So hopefully this has helped. It's starting to get kind of dark and I have to get working. So anyway, guys, if you're, want to get the report, go to astrologycares.com in the description section. My Academy website is Magha Vedic Astrology Academy.com. You'll find out astrologycares.com. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow with another video. I'll actually make a video down at the beach if the audio is good. All right. Bye-bye.